There is nothing you can do to stop me from coming at you round after round with the most malicious techniques I know. You will lose this fight, Daniel Cormier. I want you to believe it. Every ounce of training you put in leading up to this fight will be a waste of your life.
Around 2010, 2011, I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind, meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. So I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit and believing that I could be the shit and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest.
A lot of people were surprised when they found out that you've been signing your name as Champ 2011. How did that come about?
I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. And me signing my signature with Champion 2011 on it can't hurt me. It can't hurt me. It could only help me to believe it even more. I would say throughout my martial arts career, the biggest life lesson that I've learned is the power of the mind and just how important it is to look at yourself at a high regard and to believe in yourself. I think in order to paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it, and the more you believe in it, the more your world will start to change, and the more you'll just start to see your beliefs come to pass.
What do you think the sport's going to be, when UFC 200 rolls around? And where do you think you're going to be 9 years from now, 10 years from now?
I'm hoping to be a champion.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to be a champion. I'm believing that I'll be a champion. I would love to grab the belt, hang on to it, and be the next GSP or be the next Silva, and keep the fans excited. The UFC is growing, and it's just a tremendous thing to be a part of. It's changed my life, and I embrace what it is to the fullest. I'm just excited to be a part of it. I have a lot of pride in it. I started thinking about it the day that I decided that I was going to go up to heavyweight. My goal for 3 years now is to become the heavyweight champion of the world. It's what I pray about, it's what I sleep on, it's what I dream about. It is who I am, and I will get it done. But I just feel it in my whole being that I'm the best fighter on the planet. And now my job is just to prove it.
You've been saying something that I find to be very interesting, that the butterflies in your stomach are in formation. I've never heard that before. I think it makes a lot of sense. What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
What I mean by it? Okay, so the butterflies in formation, basically it means when you have butterflies and you're feeling anxious and you have anxiety or nervous, that's when you're most powerful, I believe. And either you can, you're most powerful. So a lot of people, instead of homing this power and using it, they allow it to just consume them. There's another quote that says, a big challenge or big pressure is like a fire. It's like a raging fire. Either you can allow this fire to consume you and just take you over completely, or you can gain control of this fire and harness it, and you blow it right at your opponent, like Dragon Ball Z style.
I can't allow my past to hold weight over me. You gotta forgive yourself for attacks in life, and you gotta move forward. You can't hold yourself in prisons, and you can't allow anybody else to hold yourself in prisons. If people are talking about things I did 5 years ago, that means I'm doing something right.
Right. Was that always the case, or was that just a part of your maturation process where you started to say, I need to start letting go of the past?
Yeah, it wasn't always the case. It's taken a while for me to be able to be comfortable with some of the mistakes I've made and things like that. But I'm grateful that I am at a place where I'm comfortable with who I am, comfortable in my own skin, and there's no good without bad. So I'm grateful.
That has helped me get to the point that I am now. Something that you can take with you is study. A lot of athletics is not just a physical thing. I try to study competition. I try to study nutrition. I try to study other great athletes, guys who've done great things in the past, and try to model, myself after them. So I'm big on the mental game when it comes to being an athlete, sports psychology and things like that. So really focusing on the mind, not only the body, is important.
Do you have moments where you're like, man, how did this happen? Like, how have I been able to stay on top for this long? Do you have moments where you talk to yourself like that?
You know, I do, and I always just point it back to God, man. Honestly, man, it's God's grace. I know everyone's not a believer. A lot of people think, I wish you just wouldn't talk about God, but it really is God's grace. It really is, man. He has sustained me through so much, through the death of my mother, through basically a 4-year suspension, through just my dumb mistakes. He's probably protected me in ways that I don't even know he has. But really, I just pointed to God's grace, man. You know, I wear this tattoo on my chest, Philippians 4:13, that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I genuinely believe that I can do anything. And I'm not surprised that I'm still here. And I believe that I could possibly be here a decade from now.
It's amazing for a guy who I believe was a janitor, right? And you got into this because you needed to get some money for diapers, right?
Yeah, I was applying to, I was a bouncer actually, making $50 a night, and I was applying to be a janitor because I would have benefits.
Wow.
And right when I was waiting to get the call back, someone wrote me on Twitter, a guy named Gary, a kid that I never met, and he said, hey, my cousin owns an MMA gym in Cortland, New York, which is about 45 minutes away. Didn't have a car. And I was driving my fiance's car to commute over to these practices. I got that phone call on a Saturday night, and I was heading to my first practice that next Monday. The kid changed my life forever. He just planted a seed in my MySpace.